Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft mod spotlight. Today we are checking out progressive automation. Woo! So you may be thinking, well, what is progressive automation? And it's basically a vanilla style tech mod. Or that's what I'd like to say it is. So there is 4 tiers of machines that you can get in this. This whole thing revolves around different machines that help you in your fairly vanilla ways, although it is very good for other mod packs as well, and I have found myself using it quite a few times in different circumstances. So the first thing, the first tier is the wood tier, so you can have a few different machines as well. There is many that will help you. So you've got the wooden tier, which is the very basic, the lowest tier and probably the slowest tier. Then you move on to the stone, which is slightly better than the wood. Then you've got iron, which is yet again better than the stone. And then finally you have the diamond, which is the best out of all of them, which is pretty cool. So this mod does add different things such as breeders, which as you can see here, we've got lots of sheep growing up. We've also got choppers. We've also got generators for generating RF if you have mods that use redstone flux in them. And it's just a fairly vanilla mod that is really cool overall. So we're going to check it out. So one of the first and most handiest things to probably have is going to be the miner. And to get the miner, you are going to want quite a bit of wood. You're going to want a furnace. You're going to want a wooden pickaxe. You're actually going to want 2 wooden pickaxes because you're going to want one inside of this once it's built. You are going to want a chest, and you're going to want 6 wooden logs. And that will give you the basic wooden miner. Now, once you have the wooden miner, you can then upgrade it into the stone miner, which requires 7 stone, a stone pickaxe, and of course the wooden miner. Then you've got the iron one, which requires an iron block, 6 iron ingots, the stone miner, and an iron pickaxe. So it gets pretty expensive at this point, but of course that allows it to mine different materials underground. And then of course you have your diamond one, which is 7 diamonds, the iron miner, and the diamond pickaxe. Now of course with the first tier you can dig very slowly and it will dig basically stone. You could probably get things like coal and stuff out of it, but you wouldn't be able to dig things like iron. Whereas with the stone miner, then you will be able to dig things like iron, and it will also dig a lot quicker as well. But of course, it won't be able to do redstone. Whereas the iron miner will be able to do mostly everything that the other miners can do, as well as redstone, diamonds, gold, things like that, because it uses a iron pickaxe. Whereas these use, the wooden one uses, basically all of these variants use their own style of pickaxe, although they can, once you've upgraded to a higher tier, then they can use the lower tiers, things such as a diamond miner using a stone pickaxe, or a stone miner using a wooden pickaxe, but it can't go higher, so you wouldn't be able to use a iron pickaxe in a stone miner. That just wouldn't work. So I'm going to show off these miners. I'm going to get the iron one. I am then going to get the iron pickaxe. Now if we head over here to this little bit here, let's just stick this down, and you will see in here this is the basically the inventory of this block. So you're going to want to get yourself a pickaxe and shove it into there. You are then going to want some coal, and you're also going to want a shovel, because this does dig holes as well, so it needs to get through dirt and gravel and things like that. So we'll get ourselves an iron shovel, or actually we could mix and match and get one of those. I will also get one of these to show you what happens if you try and put a higher tier in. Tool level too high, there you go, so it won't go in. Whereas if we stick this one in, it is fine with it. And also if we stick this one in, it is fine. But of course these have lesser durability, so you probably don't want to use them. So now we're going to want to stick some coal in here. Needs cobble, so yes, each block does need a specific thing. So this one requires cobble, as it will fill in the ground once it has dug through it. So let's stick this in, and you can see 59 blocks underneath it, a range of 1, and it is mining away fairly swiftly because it is the iron variant. Now, of course, we're only going through dirt and gravel at the moment. This won't mine stone, so you don't have to worry about that. And we've got some iron there. We have some tin ore from thermal foundation, and we also have some sand apparently under the ground. So that's quite interesting. And yeah, then once it gets to 59, it will say that it's finished. It's only used one piece of coal, so that's fairly, I would say this one's fairly efficient. And we still got our cobble in there as well. But of course, what happens if we don't want to just dig down in a straight line? Then we will need to upgrade our machine. We can, well, we will still be digging down in a straight line, but we could do a bigger radius. So to dig in different radiuses, you are going to need upgrades. The first tier being the wooden one once again. So for the wooden upgrade, you are going to want one piece of redstone, so you need to have dug down already. So one piece of redstone and 8 different wooden logs to get the first tier. For the second one, you are going to want the wooden upgrade with stone around it, so 8 stone for that one. And then for the iron upgrade, you are going to want 6 iron ingots with a stone upgrade. For the diamond upgrade, 2 diamonds with a iron upgrade. And then finally with this one, there is actually a wither upgrade, so it multiplies the range of the machine by 4. So this one is a fairly handy upgrade to have, but it is extortionately priced. You need 4 diamond upgrades, 4 golden ingots, and 1 nether star in the middle to get the wither upgrade. So we are going to use the iron upgrade, and of course you only upgrade 1 range per upgrade. So if we stick this in, you can see there it's gone, and it's doubled the mining area. So we're now digging here as well as underneath the machine. So if we get several of these, let's just quickly get these. There they are. Stick those in there. You can see we're mining 3,000 blocks now, so a lot more. And we can actually stick more of these in. We can just keep whacking them in as long as we can afford them. So there we go. We've now got 11k blocks to mine with a range of 194. So that will just continue to mine and mine and mine. I think there is a limit on this, but I'm not entirely sure how big that area is. I presume it would be a 64 by 64 or probably slightly larger. I'm not entirely sure. But that is the miner. We are now going to move on to some other stuff. Okay, so the next block I'm going to move on to, since it's a fairly simple block, is going to be the crafter. The crafter is crafted with 1 chest, 1 furnace, and a crafting table with 6 wooden logs. And that will give you the basic wooden crafter. Once you have that, it's basically the same sort of recipes as before to get the upgrades. And there you go, you can get the diamond one there, which we have here. I'm going to show you the difference between the iron one and the diamond one. So we're going to want some coal in here. We've already got some coal in here. I've got a chest pattern laid out in this one. We just need some wood to be able to do it. So let's just grab that real quickly. And we will set that up in the other one as well. So, like so. And then once we stick some wood inside, then this should start crafting. And you can see it uses the coal. It's not exactly crafting very quickly, but it's still crafting. So whenever this inventory gets the blocks within it, you can see that it's crafted up fairly quick. Now, these blocks you cannot upgrade, but they are still fairly cool. The upgrades are basically you upgrading them manually into the next tier. So if we stick in 64 in here, you will see that this goes through it so much quicker. And there you go, we've already got 8. So the higher the tier is, the faster the crafting will be, which is pretty damn cool, especially if you want lots and lots of chests or furnaces or other things that use very simplified recipes that you can input the stuff for. So I think that is a very handy block to have. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is going to be the PA wrench. Now, of course, the PA stands for Progressive Automation, and if we check the recipe for this out, if we can, apparently it's not letting me check that out. What the hell? Okay, so here we go. For this, you need 3 sticks and 1 iron ingot, so it's a fairly cheap item, and if you shift right-click with it, then you can change it to different outputs. So fuel input, input, output, query, normal, and disabled. Or also rotate, so you can rotate different blocks. I'm not entirely sure. There you go. You can see that this is rotating, and you can see a little outline once you have this selected on where this is going to focus its output. So you can change it around there. So if we change this to output here, then north side set to output, so you can output blocks going this way. You can also set it so that it does it on different sides. And then if you shift right click with it, then you can pick up the block. So I think that was pretty cool. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is going to be the fuel pellets, just real quickly. So the fuel pellets you craft by putting a piece of coal or charcoal into a crafting table, and you will get fuel pellets. These fuel pellets act like basically an eighth of what a piece of coal would act like. So it's pretty much just a quick burst of fuel rather than a full piece of coal wood. So next we're moving on to the wooden chopper. The wooden chopper is basically your tree chopper. So if you have this, then you'll be able to cut your trees down with ease. So the first tier pretty much the same as all the others, apart from it uses a wooden axe. The second tier pretty much the same, apart from it uses a stone axe with the wooden chopper in the middle, and pretty much the same through the different tiers. Of course, you can't upgrade past the diamond once again. And it acts much the same as the miner did earlier on. So we have a stone one here, so we're going to grab ourselves a stone pickaxe real quick, or stone axe real quick, not pickaxe, we've already done that. Oh wait, we've already got one in here. Okay, so let's check this one out. We're going to put a few, or we could try and put a few upgrades in there, but we can't do that because this is a stone variant, so we will need the upgrades for the same style of block. So we got the stone upgrades, let's stick those in. There you go. Add saplings, not ready, so we do need to add saplings into this machine to get it running. So there you go, you can see we've got saplings in the top. This is planting them all around because we have the upgrades in here. We have 64. So you can see it's placed all of those saplings down all around me, and eventually these will grow. So let's just quickly get some bone meal to fast forward the process. Let's just quickly bone meal a few of these, and bloop, and there you go. You can see that this block is chopping down that tree, and fairly swiftly as well. So pretty cool on that part. And chop, chop, chop. So this isn't the fastest because of course it is only the stone variant, but you can see here we have stored some oak wood in here, and we also have apples, so it does pick up apples, and the saplings just automatically go back in here unless this slot is full, which then it will stick them into the inventory slot. So I'm going to get rid of all of these trees. Oh wait, it's still planting them. Ha, lol. Oh well. So that block is exceptionally handy if you want to make yourself a really easy tree farm, but of course remember you do need to fuel it. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is going to be the generators. Now the generators basically generate RF like you would expect them to. You can then output this with either the different pipes that you can get from the various mods, such as Ender IO or Thermal Dynamics, and then you can transfer the RF to other machines, or if you do not have any pipes at all and you need to charge your different blocks up, let's say, what should we go with? Let's say you want to power a miner, you can stick this here and then get yourself an RF engine right next to it. We can stick that there. No RF power. Oh dear. So if we charge this up, you can see plus 160 RF per tick running. It is not storing any within this block, but it is storing it within this RF engine, which holds up to 40,000. Then the buffer in here will start charging up. So pretty cool. To craft the RF engine, you are going to need 1 redstone block, 2 golden ingots, and 6 iron ingots. And that's fairly easy to craft. So, to get these wonderful blocks, you are going to need, of course, an RF engine in the middle with a redstone block on the top, a furnace at the bottom, and 6 logs as usual. For the next tier up, you're going to want stone around a wooden generator with a RF engine on the top. Then the next one is going to be an RF engine on the top, and a stone generator, then iron block at the bottom, and 6 iron ingots. And the final tier is going to be another RF engine, so you're going to need a lot of those, and a iron generator in the middle, and 7 diamonds. And that is how you craft those. So those seem to be a more efficient way of generating RF. And of course, all of these machines, if you have the RF engine within them, will be able to take RF from other generators within different mods as well. So there's cross-mod compatibility within this mod, so it's not just very vanilla-like. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is going to be the planter. As you can see in the description here, can plant and harvest all types of crops. Machines should be placed 1 block away from the ground. So to craft this, you are going to want a hoe at the bottom, basically on all of the recipes, much like the other ones were. Ho, you can see we've got a lot more sheep than we had when we started. Jesus, it's spreading. Okay, so for the planter, you are going to want to stick a hoe in here and stick some charcoal, and then you are going to want some seeds. So we've got some seeds here. Let's just stick these in here. Waiting. Now, what are you doing? You don't seem to be doing much. Ah, that is because of what it said in the description of the block. It needs to be at least 1 away from the ground. Okay, so if you stick this on the ground, or under the ground technically you want this underneath your farm. So if you have an area like this, then of course at the moment it's not going to do anything because it doesn't have any range upgrades, but if we stick one on top of it, then it will till the land, it will water the land, and it will stick the seeds down. And if we get some more bone meal, then we should be able to do this. And there you go, it will harvest the wheat, and then it will stick another load of seeds down. So if we check this now, you can see we've got some wheat in here, and of course we can stick the range upgrades in here to upgrade the range of how far this reaches. So you can have massive farms, which is really, really handy and cool. So one of the last machines we're going to move on to is going to be the wooden animal farmer. Used to breed animals, uses upgrades for shearing and milking. Place on the same level as the animals. So for this you're going to want some shears at the bottom with logs, furnace and chest, much the same on the other ones as well. So instead of a pickaxe or whatever, it's just shears this time, and it's always the same tier of shears, so you don't have to keep upgrading those, so it's pretty handy for that. But this block does come with 2 additional upgrades to the range upgrades. It comes with the shearing upgrade and the milking upgrade. Basically the milker upgrade allows you to milk cows, and the shearer upgrades allows you to shear animals. Each one of these will add a new upgrade slot into the block. So the shearer upgrade is 2 pieces of wool, some shears, 2 pieces of leather, and of course 4 stone. Whereas the milk upgrade will require 2 milk buckets, a block of redstone, and 6 stone to craft. But of course we're going to be showing off the shear upgrade today. Oh god, one of our sheep escaped. I'm not surprised, this is getting pretty full. I will show you how the inventory of this is. So in here I have upgraded it with the shearer upgrade. So you can now see that this has some shear marks here. Beforehand it wouldn't have had this slot at all, and it would have just required some wheat at the top and some coal to work, and this will automatically breed your animals for you as long as you have those items within. Of course you can upgrade the range of this so it'll go longer, or you could keep it short if you want just a small farm. You can then add in the shears, or you could add in the milker upgrade, which I am actually going to do. So if Mr. Sheep would stop hopping, thank you. We can add in that one, but it won't work because we've already got the shear upgrade. So let's just get some shears real quickly, stick those in there, and it should start shearing all of our sheep that are in this pen. So there you go, you can see they're starting to lose their fur, and in here you can see we have 3, we have a couple of grey wool, and there you go, you can see that is slowly shearing all of our sheep, which is really cool. That's a handy block to have, and some handy upgrades to have also. So the final block we are going to move on to is going to be the killer. To get the wooden killer, you are going to want a wooden sword and all of the rest of the stuff that was shown in the previous recipes. For the next tier it's stone sword, then iron sword, and then finally diamond sword. So I'm afraid we're going to have to show some animal cruelty here. We're going to place down the stone killer. This is going to require a tool. Oh, bad mobs. And so we are going to need to stick in a tool. Oh, you can see they're breeding. Yeah. So much like all the other blocks, because this is stone, we're going to need a stone tool. And of course, due to having only stone tier, it's going to be slower than what a diamond tier would be as well. So we're just going to quickly grab some coal. We're going to stick that in here. And it's going to only have a range of 1, so it's not going to really work too well. So we're going to need some range upgrades. Let's get the wither upgrade. And upgrade this if we can. I'm not entirely sure if it will work on this tier. Yes, it will. So range of 4. Cool. And then we can stick that in there. We've only got a range upgrade, or 1 range upgrade, and it's upgraded it to 8 because it does it times 4 every time. So you can see that's working. It's unfortunately killing our sheep. Not doing too much damage, and that because it is a lower tier machine. But it is killing our sheep. We can also set this so that it will only hit the player, so it won't actually kill the sheep. So there you go, it's not hitting the sheep. But if I went into game mode, there you go, you can see that I'm the one getting hit now. So it is a little bit dangerous. Of course, if you break them, then it will just spill out all the content from within the block. So we've got our little happy face back, and we can stick that in there, we can stick that in there. That's how you get the upgrades out. Of course, if you don't want to break it, then you would use the little wrench that we showed off earlier. So to craft the player filter, you are going to want 1 redstone block, 4 iron swords, and 4 stone. So not too expensive, and if you're in a multiplayer server, then it can be pretty handy. Of course, if you have the range upgrade on this, then it's going to be very, very lethal. The next upgrade is the mob filter, and this will kill any, basically, enemy mob. So there you go, you can see this requires 2 gunpowder, so you do need to have killed a couple of creepers and zombies, 2 rotten flesh, 4 stone, and 1 redstone block. So that's not too hard to make, and that will kill your enemy mobs rather than your friendlies. Whereas if you want to kill your animals, which we have apparently already been doing, no, honestly. We will need 5 stone, 1 egg, a piece of leather, some wool, and a block of redstone. And then finally, there is the adult filter, so it will only kill adult mobs rather than killing the children. So for this one, you are going to need 2 eggs, 1 leather, 1 wool, 4 stone, and 1 redstone block. And that will only kill the mobs that are, of course, adults. So at the moment you can see it's killing the little babies. We don't want it to kill the little babies, so we'll stick on the one that will kill the adults. Of course, this only has a small range at the moment of 8, but it should still kill these ones. I'm not sure why it's not doing. And of course, there is still some more stuff that we can craft within this mod that is fairly vanilla. For the miner, we can also get the filter upgrade so that it will fill in air blocks and liquid blocks while mining, whereas normally it will just fill in the air blocks, so or whatever it mines it will fill in, whereas if we have this one, then it will fill everything in. So we've got for this one you will need 2 buckets, 6 stone, and 1 furnace. And then there is the cobble gen upgrade. Uses extra pick durability to mine cobble from the internal cobble generator. So the to craft this, you are going to need a stone miner. You are going to want a bucket of water, a bucket of lava, and 6 stone to work this. And now we have to move on to the really cool but expensive things. So we've got wither wood, wither stone, wither iron, and wither diamond. So for the wither wood, which you get 8 of, you're going to want a nether star, so very expensive, and you are going to want 8 logs to be able to craft this. Once you have this, you're going to be able to craft the basic wooden tools, but they are going to have Unbreaking X. Now, Unbreaking X basically makes them invincible. So these things won't be destroyed when put into your machines. Next is the stone, so 4 stone with a nether star will give you 4 wither stone, so that will be able to craft it into the equivalents of the normal stuff, but withered stone hoe or axe or whatever you want to craft, and that will work in the stone machines. Then you have the iron, which requires only 2, but you will only get 2 back, so the higher the tier, then the more expensive it will become. Of course, you usually need to use more than 2 to be able to craft a tool with iron. And then finally you have the diamond, which is of course going to be the most expensive one, which 1 diamond, 1 nether star will only give you 1 wither diamond. So, of course, this is going to be the more expensive one to get, but it makes them invincible. So, I'm going to quickly show off one of these. We are going to get a couple of sticks and just quickly whack them into the crafter. So, let's just quickly do that. Get rid of this recipe. There we go. So, 3 across the top and 2 like that will give us lots of pickaxes. There we go. So you can see here we have our pickaxe, and if we get another miner, then we should be able to check this out. So I'm going to head over into the standard game mode, and we're going to hop over here and we're going to start digging. And you can see this does have durability on it, but fortunately it has a lot more durability than the original would be. So, and of course this is on breaking X, so on breaking 10. So this could be very handy to have if you are going to be doing big mining operations in your world. And this barely touches the durability of the pickaxe, so it's a pretty handy thing to have. And of course this works with all different variants: pickaxe, axe, stone, hoe, or whatever you want. Then you can craft those up. So pretty cool. And I'm just going to quickly show off these 2 before we end up this episode. So I'm going to grab these and we're going to head over here. So I'm going to grab myself a miner really quick. Let's grab the iron one. There we go, we've got the iron upgrades and a iron one of those. There we go. Right, so I guess we can actually stick this down here. So we don't want the chopper, we want the miner. Stick that there. We can also then stick that in, which you can see here, both of those. So that should automatically generate cobble rather than us having to input it into the slot. So let's just quickly get ourselves some coal. Stick this in here. And then it needs a pickaxe, so those in again, and you can see there that it is automatically put in the cobble so that we don't have to, so it's a very handy upgrade to have. Now the filler upgrade we can stick in so that it will then sort out any stuff underground, fill it in, and make sure that there is no gaps. So these are very handy upgrades to have. This is overall a very cool mod to have also, and especially if you want to go for more of a vanilla style mod pack, it can be very, very useful. Even if it's not a vanilla style mod pack, it is still a very cool and handy mod to have, and I would highly recommend it. But guys, that has been it for Progressive Automation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you did, give it a thumbs up. That would be very helpful. Oh, we got a mountain growing up the background. And yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more mod spotlights, then let me know in the comment section and suggest some mods, because that'd be cool. And yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed. I have been Pokepeel, and I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye bye!